First met, you're staying too long in relationships. Now you're talking to a bunch of different guys, going on a bunch of different dates.
Yes.
Tell me about how it feels. Tell me about the 180 and what you're experiencing. Rachel, can you introduce yourself? Kind of how old you are, where you're from, etc.
I am Rachel. I am 27 and I live in Delaware.
Where were you at before we started working together?
Before we started working together, I was pretty just confused in the dating scene. I pretty much would get just like stuck in relationships that weren't moving forward, or situationships that had no end in sight and was lacking a lot of clarity.
The program's all about breaking patterns.
Mm-hmm.
What was the consistent pattern that you'd find yourself falling back into when it came to relationships?
So I would make excuses for almost like a lack of interest, or just like not showing up for me, and then just make excuses after excuse, but while staying kind of trapped where I am, not moving forward.
Okay. So basically you'd stay too long in relationships that weren't really serving you.
Yeah.
Getting you anything or
Exactly.
going anywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
What had you staying in those relationships?
Couple different things, but it'd be like, oh, they're not communicating, but oh, they've had a hard day. And they're sometimes nice to me. Most of the time, but the communication's lacking. So I would just like make excuses for their behavior, thinking like nothing else is out there for me.
Okay. Makes sense. And what had you sign up for the program in the first place?
Feeling so stuck with the end of a situationship that lasted 5 months, when I kind of really thought that it was going somewhere, and being just like at a loss for clarity.
Okay. I know we're not fully through the program. It's a 3-month program, few months in.
Mm-hmm.
What has changed for you as a result of working with me?
There's a lot of power in knowing like what you bring to the table in terms of your energy, your time commitment, knowing what you deem as a red flag, and like not making it up on the spot, like knowing it at the very beginning before you get feelings involved and everything. So I think there's a lot of clarity knowing what you bring to the table.
Okay. And I guess how long did it take for you to start getting results?
Right now we're on week 8. I'd say week 4 is where I feel like I finally connected with the fact that there's more out there than being trapped in like relationships that don't serve me.
Okay. And what specifically about working with me or the program itself do you think was able to make these changes to get you out of these bad patterns that you kept falling into?
I think the fact that there's like a workbook and you could like really like write it out, like think everything through, having somebody to like bounce the ideas off of, which would be you, and the group chat, it brings a lot of like moral support to everything.
Okay. So yeah, when we first met, you're staying too long in relationships. Now you're talking to a bunch of different guys, going on a bunch of different dates.
Yes.
Tell me about how it feels. Tell me about the 180 and what you're experiencing. The
Yeah.
good, maybe you're overwhelmed, but like overall, how you feel about it all.
It feels awesome, like being able to communicate with different guys and like actually plan dates. Like before, if I wasn't being trapped in like situationships, I was just like pen paling. So I've kind of like moved through those with some different like key points, like when are you going to take me on a date? Like, when are we going to hang out? Smiley face. So I think knowing those little tidbits has made it a lot easier and brings me a lot of joy to be where I am now. A lot of confidence and everything.
Oh, super happy to hear that. I remember when we were first onboarding you, you were a little bit nervous, maybe a little bit hesitant. What would you say to somebody who's thinking about the program who might be on the fence right now?
Right. I think a lot of the initial part of it was like almost being scared, being judged for like wanting or like thinking I needed a dating coach. So I feel like once you get past that like initial like not shame, but like kind of in a way like being embarrassed to have to like work with somebody. But at the end of the day, like the confidence I feel now and where I am now, like outweighs any of that from the beginning that I felt like that initial hesitation, embarrassment, whatever, you know, all of that.
So like mainly just getting over that pride, if you will.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Would you recommend working with me and why?
100%. I think having somebody that is completely like outside of the situation is nice. Like you, obviously your friends weigh in on it, but at the end of the day, they have your back and not some random guy's back. So I think having somebody that's like objective, I guess, is really nice. And yeah, I would recommend you to just about anyone.